Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's video. So you're thinking of printing a photo very large, but you've been told you need 300 pixels per inch or 50 megapixels in your camera to have it look sharp. Is this true? And how large can you print a photo based on how many pixels it has? Its resolution. And what if I told you this print was made from a file that would make the internet panic? In this video, I'm going to show you my blind test results, comparing various pixel dimensions of the same photo using a real photo of mine. We're going to settle the megapixels for printing debate with real prints and no marketing gimmicks. If you think your photos aren't of high enough resolution for printing, you may be surprised. And stay till the end to have a chance to win one of my prints. A beauty too. My name is Simon D'Entremont and I'm a professional nature and wildlife photographer living in Eastern Canada. I make weekly videos giving you photo tips or taking you behind the scenes for nature photography. Subscribe if you want to see more. Okay, let's get some facts and science straight first to make sure the rest of the video makes sense. Something that most of us know and that makes good sense to us is that higher pixel dimensions, that is higher resolution, leads to more detail when printing. Lack of it leads to softness in image clarity. Now, how can you tell if your photo has enough resolution to be printed and still look sharp? Now let's get a definition straight first, PPI versus DPI. While these are often used interchangeably, they're different. PPI is pixels per inch and represent the pixel count for digital viewing and of your digital file. DPI, or dots per inch, are for the output on a printer. Related, but not the same. A 200 pixels per inch image can be printed on a physical printer using only 100 dots per inch. Or a 100 pixel per inch digital image can be printed physically using 300 dots per inch on the printer. Okay, let's see how this math works. If an image is 4,000 by 6,000 pixels, that's 24 million or 24 megapixels. If you want to print this at the size of 16 by 24 inches, this is about 40 by 60 centimeters. You get 4,000 on one side divided by 16 equals 250 pixels per inch. So printed at 16 by 24 inches, the photo would be 250 PPI. Now if you print it larger, the pixels are spread over a larger area, so the pixels per inch go down. For a larger 24 by 36 inch print, for example, you get 4,000 divided by 24 equals 166.7. Now what of these PPI numbers? The big question is, how many do you need for printing? You may have heard that 300 DPI or PPI is an often quoted number. Whether that's right depends on various factors. Let's dig into those. First is the viewing medium or the surface. This matters, but only within certain limits. The medium you use can impact the perceived sharpness. Glossy papers reveal more detail, and matte, canvas, and textured surfaces reveal less. Also, metal and acrylic can show sharpness more clearly, and I'll be making a video comparing the two very soon. Keep an eye out for that one. Another factor is the processing and sharpening in your photo, which can make a difference in the perceived sharpness your photo seems to have when printed. Over-sharpening can lead to artifacts, and noise reduction that's overdone can make photos look soft when printed. The next issue is the type of image and subject matter. Some images reveal resolution limits faster than others. For example, architecture, fine text, repeating patterns, and fine textures like feathers or fur for wildlife. These are expected to reveal lots of detail. Less sensitive to sharpness are portraits, which often have a soft look, landscapes with haze, and minimalist scenes. With the next one, we're getting into an important characteristic, photo sharpness. A photo that was very sharp can be printed larger than a soft one, even if it has fewer megapixels. I once had a magazine reject a photo of mine for the cover because it didn't have enough resolution. The photo they'd seen and they wanted was a crop, like this. So they ended up using another photo that had the resolution, but the cover came out quite soft, with much less detail than mine, even if it had 300 pixels per inch. And finally, after the pixel count of your image, the most important determinant of how big you can print is the viewing distance. That's right, this is the factor that many people seem to forget. When you say, how many dots per inch do I need or how large can I print, they just say, oh, you need 300 or 200 PPI. That's not quite right. The only right answer to the question is, what will be the viewing distance and how big will it be printed? Here's why. The human eye has a physical resolution limit. For someone with 20/20 vision, the smallest detail we can resolve is about 1 arc minute. That's a fixed biological and physical constraint. What that means is, as viewing distances increases, the amount of detail we can actually see drops quite quickly. At 1 or 2 feet, about 30 or 60 centimeters, you might benefit from around 300 pixels per inch. That's why it's commonly referenced for magazines. It's a known distance and a known size. At 3 feet, 1 meter, that drops to roughly 100 pixels per inch. That's all the detail that you can see with perfect vision. At 10 feet, it's closer to 30 or 40. And for a billboard at 300 feet or 100 meters, it's 10 or 20. That's right, 10 dots per inch. Beyond that point, adding more resolution doesn't make the print look sharper because your eye literally can't resolve the extra detail. When you say, how many dots per inch do I need, or how large can I print, how big and viewed from how far are the right answers. Now, when I say viewing distance, is there an ideal viewing distance? Many people believe that 1.5 to 2 times the diagonal of the print is the most commonly used viewing distance when looking at a print. So a magazine at 8.5 times 11 inches in print, the diagonal is 14 inches, so the typical viewing distance might be 18 to 28 inches. At 24 by 36 inch print, the diagonal is 43 inches, so the typical viewing distance might be around 5.5 to 7 feet, a couple of meters. This works because the human eye comfortably sees about 40 degrees without turning the head. So standing 1.5 to 2 times the diagonal lets the entire image sit within that field of view. Now that's the theory. What about in real life? Well, I decided to get the help from the sponsor of this video, Whitewall, the print shop I trust for making my own prints, to help make me some test photos. I used a photo of a snowy owl that I took, and after cropping to taste, I had 6,971 pixels by 4,066. That's 28 megapixels left from my original Canon R5 45 megapixel camera. It was very sharp, taken with a super sharp lens, the Canon 500mm f4 version 2. I processed the image to taste, and a reminder here for you. Prints come out darker looking than your backlit monitor, which people often set too bright during their processing. I like to add a bit of exposure before sending to print. I also added the resolution in such fine print on the photo that it's not even visible to make sure I knew which was which. Then I exported 3 copies of the photo. One at the original resolution, 28 megapixels, that would be 208 ppi. Then one at 5235 by 3053, 16 megapixels, that's 156 ppi. And finally, 3660 by 2184 or 8 megapixels. That's 110 ppi. Standard sharpening. I use JPEG at 100% quality, which is fine, and Adobe RGB for color space, which print shops know how to use and represents a great color gamut. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's go over to the Whitewall site. They have all kinds of sizes, frames, materials, and quality options. They've won Best Photo Lab worldwide and won the TIPA World Awards 5 out of the last 6 years. They're who I trust for my print store on my own website, and you may have seen that I've already gotten several acrylic prints for my home. I love these, great quality. So on the Whitewall site, I upload all my photos. I select one of them and choose framed prints. Now I select the image size. Whitewall can custom size the print and frame for whatever aspect ratio you have. For this experiment, I want to do very large, so 85 by 50 centimeters. That's 33 by 20 inches. Then I select my paper type, frame type, and color, and glass type. And I repeat the process for the 2 other resolution sizes. I also made an extra copy of the middle resolution photo using Whitewall's Ultra HD feature for enhanced sharpening and optimization. And off to printing. And I have to say, regardless of which one I looked at, these were all gorgeous. Stay tuned if you want to win one of these. So what I did then was organize a blind test. I named them A, B, C, D without knowing which was which, and me and 3 friends did a test at 4 distances, 3 meters, 1.5 meters, 1 meter, and 30 centimeters. We ranked the prints for sharpness. I ran the test twice, mixing up the prints to balance out differences in lighting and biases. And here are the results, which blew me away. The results came out almost random. There was no relationship between dimensions and scores, even looking up close. In fact, the highest resolution came out worst at some distances. There was no predictable pattern that higher resolution led to more perceived sharpness, with the middle resolution doing the best of them all with a slight edge to the Ultra HD version. And you may be saying, how is this possible? First, on a computer, you can do a side-by-side comparison or a flip-flip-flip comparison. Not so in real life. 2, I can tell the difference just barely between these 2 or between these two, but at a ridiculous magnification. To replicate the size on my screen in real print, I'd have to print this at twice the size. From 1 foot away, looking through glass, it's really hard to tell the difference in resolution as long as the original photo was sharp. 8 megapixels was fine and plenty for this use case. And by the way, where most of us are going to be putting this in our homes, where you place the prints will actually curb viewing distances. Over a couch, minimum 1 meter distance. Over a bed, same thing, 1 meter. On a staircase, maybe you might be a little bit closer. Consider the viewing distance before worrying about if you had enough megapixels. In my own home, I have this 2 meter wide acrylic print that you can't look at from closer than 2 meters. Or these 2 big ones I have in my home, you're at least 1 meter away. So 100 to 150 pixels per inch is enough to do a great job. And we've seen that even 110 pixels per inch up close can look great, even from a foot or 30 centimeters away. So my message, don't be afraid to print your photos, and resolution shouldn't be your barrier. Start with a really sharp photo to begin with, and you're golden. So head over to Whitewall if you want to try this in real life, and use code WWSimon10 for 10% off your order. And do you want to win one of these prints? I'm going to give 2 of these away. Go over to Instagram and Facebook, where I'll make a post about this giveaway. Make sure you follow me and tag a friend, and I'll pick one of my followers who commented at random and ship you and your friend one of these prints. Now, of course, there are exception cases, super large formats, and close viewing distances in a photo where detail matters. A gallery viewing, for example. But know the limits and apply them wisely. And I do use high megapixel cameras so I can crop and get nice details, but use what you have. I hope you can use these tips to start printing your own photos soon, so you too can be proud of your own unique and amazing photos. I know you can do it.